Now is our time for meditation, so I invite you to get things out of your lap. Those feet firmly planted on the floor. If you're comfortable, close your outer eyes. So we begin to breathe in that beautiful breath of God and breathe out and center our energy into this perfect time and space. Just allowing our bodies and our minds to relax and let go. The beautiful words of that song touch my heart. Help me to believe I am whole. I am free. Help me to believe I am God in expression in this incarnation. Help me to believe, to know the truth of who I really am, of what I really am. To know that God is working in and through me always. To know that just as I am enough. To understand my purpose here and now. To trust the divine unfolding in my life. To move forward, making good choices. For feeling gratitude for all that I have and all that I will have. For being able to claim the good and know that much good is already on its way now. To be truly grateful that all is well. In this precious moment, I invite you to enter into a moment of silence, taking those words in and making them the truth of your being, so that you can believe that you are all that and so much more in the silence. Every day we choose our path. No one can do this work for us. We are all divinely appointed to do our own, to make our spiritual path first and foremost in our lives. And for the guidance of Spirit, we are so very grateful that we can open and receive that guidance when we become still enough to hear it. And so we say thank you, indwelling Spirit, for this day, for the choice to be here with us, for the good that is already here and the much good that we know is coming. We bring our attention back into this room. And whenever you're ready, just open your beautiful eyes. Bob pasted my name in there over Reverend Eileen's. So clever. Choose again. So choose again who's speaking to you today. I love that. That's great. So there's this cartoon of Garfield. And Garfield gets it in his mind that he wants to set free all of the animals in the zoo. And somehow he manages to get a master key. And he goes about unlocking every single cage in the zoo. And the animals don't move. They put their feet up, they put their hands behind their head, they're relaxing. And he's stunned. And he says, do you want to be free or do you want to be secure? He can't believe it. It's a pretty good question, isn't it, for all of us? Do you want to be free or do you want to be secure? We all have to decide what kind of lives we choose to create, you see. A lot of people settle. They just settle. A lot of people just settle into the routine of victimhood in their lives, choosing what's familiar, what's safe, not ever going outside of that, you know. But we know that we can discover freedom and the possibilities that God has placed within us when we just do a little work and focus on that. So this is our last week of our theme. Our July theme is flowing in freedom. Let's say our affirmation together. I am free in spirit. I flow with divine wisdom and strength. So we're focusing on this flowing with our life. And today's power of will is one of the 12 powers that was discerned by Charles Fillmore that are innate abilities within us that are God-given. They are how we would describe God if God was a person instead of spirit, right? Those 12 innate faculties are in us as they are in God. And so one of today's focus is about one of the greatest gifts that we have is free will, the power to choose. Every moment presents an opportunity. We get to choose what we think, what we feel, what we believe, how we're going to act, how we're going to show up, what we're going to be, how we're going to be. That's a choice. And we can choose to align with our divine nature or not so much. It really is a choice. Jesus modeled how to surrender the human will to the divine will. He's the perfect example for us, showing that true freedom really comes from not getting our own way, but from choosing the way of love. Not by forcing our personal will on things, but allowing life to flow through us. It should not have to be a struggle, you see. So every single day, we make thousands of choices. You may not realize that because many seem insignificant, but what happens is these repeated choices that we make eventually will shape our consciousness. Because if you want to know what your consciousness is like, look at your life. There you will know what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you're feeling, what you're holding to believe is truth for you. That's what's showing up in your life. And you know, this is principle 3. So, God is, I am, I think. So principle 3 is what we focus on expands. What we give our energy to grows. So think about it. If you're not making good choices, what are you thinking about? Right? So we're never trapped by yesterday's decisions because our spiritual life is always guided. We're continually getting an invitation to choose again, to make a different choice. And honestly, I don't believe the choices that we make, even though they don't sometimes turn out the way we want them to, are necessarily bad, because every single time you choose, don't you learn something from that choice, even when you didn't make a good choice? So your soul is here to do that. This is our playing field here on earth, to come and to learn these things. So we want to make good choices, don't we? We want to make really good, sound choices. So the present moment always offers a new choice. That's why we always say, be in the present, right? Be in the present. If you're in the past, worrying about the way things were, then you're stuck in the past. If you're worried about the future, you're not in the present moment. So, since this is the last week that we're talking about the power of will, I just wanted to give a short recap, because I figured there'd be a couple of new people here that don't know anything about what we're talking about. But the power of will is our spiritual ability to choose intentionally. It's not willpower, it's divine will is what we're talking about. Will is not stubbornness and control. It's not personal will, but spiritual will. Our spiritual will aligns with the desires that we have and with divine wisdom. And when we follow our heart's desires, it helps us move forward to know how to manifest those things that are in our heart. So co-founder Charles Fillmore described will as our capacity to direct our life in harmony with God. And don't you want some more of that? Don't we all want more harmony in our lives? He says in his book, Keep a True Lent, thus man, and of course that includes women, thus man, old languaging, is the most important factor in creation. He is the will of God individualized. Each individual is the focus of the life, intelligence, love, and substance of this one universal man, the Christ. In him we live and move and have our being. So this is the way it is, folks. When we are guided by the Christ within, guess what? We choose forgiveness over resentment. When we're living from that part of us, that wholeness of us, we choose peace over worry. Worry no longer suits us. We don't want to be in that place. We choose faith over fear because we know the truth of us. And we choose love over judgment. So today we're in the scriptures and we interpret the Bible metaphysically, not literally. And so when you read scripture, you'll read something differently than I do, but we're in Joshua chapter 24, verses 14 and 15. It says, now therefore revere, not fear, revere the Lord. This is the New Standard Version translation. And serve him in sincerity and in faithfulness. Put away the gods that your ancestors served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. Now, if you are unwilling to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." So what was happening with Joshua in that time is still alive today. Choose this day who you will serve. Choose this day how you will live your life, who you will follow, what you will be, how you will show up in your life. The central idea in today's lesson is the teaching that we should definitely stand for the truth that we know about ourselves. And that's those 5 principles that we should make an agreement with the God of our being to serve and to be loyal in spite of whatever we see showing up around us in our world, because there's a lot of stuff, we're witnessing a lot of things. We are to have reverence for the Lord and to be sincere and truthful in our own communion of ourselves, because metaphysically we know that the Lord stands for the I am of us. It is the Christed beingness of who we are. That's what the Lord means. Joshua was making a covenant before the people of Israel. And what is implied in this command, choose this day whom you will serve, is actually an injunction for us to have single-mindedness, to know the truth of who we are and why we're here and what is ours to do, because we are made in the image and likeness of God. And when we realize that sometimes we're stepping away from the path, all we have to do is choose again and get ourselves right, get ourselves back in alignment. Because we're divine beings. We have power. We are not victims of our circumstances. We are co-creator with the God of our being to create a life that we love, that we have joy in. So we have the grace every moment to choose again. Choose a different way. This is our free will. Jesus was the master of choosing again. In the wilderness, he was repeatedly choosing spirit over temptation. He chose purpose over comfort. He chose trust over fear, and he chose service over personal gain. This is what choosing alignment is all about. All this year, we're focusing on how we learn to flow in our lives and not resist what's happening to us. We're learning to make good choices and stay in that alignment, because when we pay attention to our guidance, when we take time to pray and meditate every day, we are able to hear what Spirit has for us and what is ours to do. And then, you know what? Our lives become easier. It just becomes easier to live our lives from that place. Jesus taught that surrender is an active choice, and it's born of love and trust. So we can always choose again, and life often brings us moments when we realize, ooh, that was not my highest response. I could have been kinder in that situation. You know, we second guess ourselves when we speak or react before we get ourselves centered in alignment with the truth of our being. We say things and then we wish we could take it back, and once it's out, it's too late. Or I let fear make my decision. In hindsight, we look at that and we go, you know, I wish I would have chosen love instead. Or I forgot who I truly am. I just forgot for a moment that I am not a victim. I'm a powerful, powerful creator, co-creating my life with God. Unity reminds us that we are never separate from God. Therefore, we are never more than one loving choice away from realignment. It only takes a second, doesn't it? We have so many options. Every breath is a new beginning. Every prayer is a new beginning. Every act of forgiveness is a new beginning. So the way I see it is we have 3 spiritual choices we can make today. The first one is always choose love. Always come from a place of love. Every single chance that you get. Instead of reacting from fear, ask, what would love choose here? What is this situation? How is this situation calling for love? You get opportunities every day to ask yourself that. The second thing is to choose trust. To know that you have within you everything that you need to do what is yours to do every single day of your life. You are an empowered person. And so instead of trying to control everything, you trust that divine wisdom is already working in your life. And you stop, you breathe, you pray, and then you act, right? So you can say an affirmation daily, something like, I trust the divine unfolding in my life. When something shows up and you're like, ooh, I do not like the look of that. Would rather not have that. Thank you very much. Breathe, pray, take it into meditation. And then the third thing is choose your divine identity always. Rather than identifying with all those things you done wrong or all those people who done you wrong, all those mistakes you made in the past, circumstances that you can't change anymore. Anything in your past, it's the dead past, it's gone, it doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is right here, right now, this present moment. So when you don't live in those places, then you can easily remember that you are a beloved expression of God and that you have a mighty purpose here, mighty work that needs to be done, and only you can do this. Only you can bring your spiritual gifts to this world that needs your spiritual gifts. So choose your thoughts that reflect your true spiritual nature. Do you remember the bumper sticker, WWJD? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? That's kind of like your call to action. What would the Christ in me do in this moment? When you have an opportunity to be kind and loving instead of judging someone for not being what you thought they could be or hoped that they could be. Emmett Fox, in Around the Year, just this past July 22nd, he talks about our rock foundation, and he says one of the oldest symbols for the human soul is a building. Sometimes it's a temple, sometimes it's a house. But the first thing that has to be done by the builder of the house is to select a solid foundation. And you know, a lot of them lived in the desert back then, right? Shifting sands. You can't very well build a house on the shifting sands. So those people in Jesus' time, they looked for a big rock foundation. The rock metaphysically means the Christ. And so the implication is quite obvious, isn't it? Christ is the only foundation upon which we can build our soul temple with safety and goodness. As long as we're depending on something other than the rock, like upon our personal willpower or our personal resources, we are building upon the sand. So those are the 3 things. Choose love, choose trust, and choose your divine identity in every single situation. And then your spiritual practice is this. I invite you to pause several times during each day and ask yourself these questions. What am I choosing right now? How am I choosing to show up? Is this choice rooted in fear or love? Does this choice express my highest self? Or can I choose again? These small choices repeated daily, bringing your awareness into your consciousness of how you're showing up, will lead to a transformed life, I'm telling you. You will transform your life by being aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying, what you're believing, how you're showing up. You will change your consciousness because you are moving forward and upward with a deeper awareness of God. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are, you yourself, and the beauty around you. You are moving forward. Sometimes life may appear dark or frightening, but when you realize that much of your fear comes from a single thought, it's not reality. It's a thought that's running through your busy mind. And when you realize that it's just a thought, worry begins to lose its power. And you're like, oh. And you stand in your power and your strength and you look at it from a higher perspective, from a higher consciousness. What is real is this. The presence of God is in you, as you, and through you. And you are continually guided toward a greater understanding, a greater purpose, and a greater expression of who you are and who you came to be. That's the truth. So in conclusion, I want to say Jesus showed us that every choice is an opportunity to align with divine love. That the power of will is not about forcing our life to go our way. That's not it at all. It's about freely choosing to live from our Christ nature, one decision at a time, again and again and again. Because you know how many thoughts you have? What was it, 26,000 thoughts a day? Think how many choices you're making in a day. Choose again. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Every prayer is a new opportunity. Every breath is God's invitation to choose again and choose wisely. All right, enough preaching. Time for a joke. So, two attorneys went into this diner and they ordered 2 Cokes. And they began to drink their Cokes. And all of a sudden, they opened their briefcases and took their sandwiches out and started eating their own sandwiches. And the owner's like, what is this? And he goes over to the table and he says, you know, you can't eat your own sandwiches here. And so the 2 attorneys looked at each other, shrugged their shoulders, traded sandwiches. You get it? They weren't eating their own sandwiches. They were eating each other's sandwiches. If I have to explain it, then it really wasn't a very good joke. All right, better luck next week. I'm going to close today with Linda Martellowitz's Divine Audacity. She has a meditation for will. I'm just going to do a little piece of this. Centered in spiritual will, I affirm my capacity to choose. Guided by my companion powers of understanding, wisdom, and imagination, I am able to draw from infinite possibilities one divine idea. This one divine idea seems to catch hold of me. It appears as my powerful desire. It becomes rooted in my awareness as mine. I affirm my capacity to commit to a path ahead. I will be a blessing and I will live as the light of the world. And that's the way it truly is today. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, in this special time, I'm going to invite up Kara Clow and from our Youth and Family Ministry, and she is going to tell us a little bit about the fly-up ceremony and what special things we have for you. She's going to explain these slides, too.
Can I get this mic on, please? This mic on? Okay, thank you. All right, so we're just sharing some pictures
of the children from the past year or so. Actually, can the kids come up on stage with me? Oh, hi, Bailey. All right, so we have pictures of the children. This is probably around Easter time. Nice shirt, Honor. It's a good color, you know, it grows with him. And you know, on the fifth Sunday, the kids get to help with the announcements. They really enjoy doing that, and over time, some of them are really shy, and they've grown into themselves. We do projects while we're with the children. They do a lesson, and then they usually do a craft or some kind of activity to help cement the lesson for them. Here's AJ from a couple years ago, actually on Scout Sunday, where he wore his uniform and presented or shared something. I think he's reading the Daily Word in that picture, actually. And then the kids out at the fountain, they made pinwheels with affirmations on them, and it was actually a nice day, so they had some fun interacting and playing with those as well. And then another Sunday where they're sharing in the announcements. So didn't have many pictures from the past year, so we'll have to do a better job of collecting those pictures. AJ's wearing that oversized jersey because that was POW Remembrance Day. So, all right. So, as Reverend, I think it's going to cycle through a little bit. As Reverend Donna said, I'm Kara Clown, the Youth and Family Ministry Director. So, most of you guys know me, usually see me going into the little room, doing stuff in there. I come in, I leave. So today we honor growth, change, and the divine light within each of our young people as they take their next step. We honor their spiritual growth and recognize all they have learned and wish them well on their path forward. Will the rest of the youth volunteers come up, please? Can I have, and then each one of them is just going to say a little bit. So we have Miss Shayna.
Hi. I just wanted to say we have an amazing time in the back. You guys don't get to see what we do back there, but these two, I've seen them grow and change. I'm an art teacher, so I usually do art with them a lot, and I'm so proud that they have their slides up there. We do so many fun things, like we do dance parties. Remember our dance parties, guys? We'll turn off we like learning about light, and we go on field trips. We went to a bounce house, so we do a lot of fun things. And
We need to do that again sometimes.
yes, we do. We do like outings outside of church. So, and these two have gotten very close. So it's just amazing seeing their friendship, watching them grow in unity. It's amazing. And I just returned with honor from the Unitine camp in Georgia. And I really want these two to go next because you get to spend time with all the Unitine family. And you get to see that unity is a bigger family, not just our home church, but it's everywhere. And it was amazing just to see them grow this year. I'm very proud of my guys.
Can I get you guys to squish together? Because I
We'll
really
get a-
need a photo. You in there
Okay.
too.
We can get one at the end, but
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Miss Phyllis also is one of our volunteers.
Hi, I'm Phyllis. And
She's shorter.
they're all taller than me. Anyways, it's been a pleasure serving. I equate working with the children to volunteering. The secret of volunteering, the gift of volunteering and working with the children is you think you're giving them your wisdom, knowledge, etc., but you walk away having gotten much more. And I've learned a lot from these guys. It's a new generation, and when I don't have children of my own and I don't see the grandchildren often enough, so I'm not kind of with it and up to date. And when I had difficulty, one of my brighter colleagues, when I was sharing, gave me words of wisdom that worked. And she said, you have to meet the children where they're at. It's a different time and different stuff. And I took her advice, And wow, it really, really worked. I was on the brink of, oh, I can't do this anymore, you know. And the children are special. And I try to let them know how blessed they are and instill in them how blessed they are to be able to get the insight, to be able to get the spirituality at such a young age, the tools that they're going to need as they go through life. And so I wish I had that growing up, but if I can pass it along, I think it's great.
Thank you, Phyllis.
And of course, Miss Carmen.
Thank you. Well, I just want to congratulate these young people and just let them know how grateful I am that you guys let me participate in your spiritual growth. There is so much that I learned from you guys. I remember not too long ago, Myla being a little girl in the class, and I always knew that she was gonna grow up to be some kind of a healer, like our entire family. And there she is. And today, I look at these faces and I can see an artist in the Louvre showing her work. I can see a young Einstein coming up with things that will totally will benefit humanity. I can see my adopted grandson working with technology and bringing something to the human race that we've been waiting for. I consider myself so lucky to have been in your life. So I'm just going to ask you, keep on keeping on. And of course, Bailey will be the next one to graduate.
Thank you, Carmen.
All right, so Bailey has joined us today. She does come here a couple times a year. So Bailey is actually going to be entering 4th grade this year. She's technically still a UNA kid. Eva she's transitioning into middle school. She's starting 6th grade this coming school year. AJ is going from 7th into 6th grade, so he's still in that uniteen stage. Believe it or not, they start that at 6th grade, a little scary. And Honor is starting high school this year.
Oh, wow.
Another reason it's so important to get that building, because we are really hoping to do 2 separate age level classes, bring in more children where they can have kid-themed lessons and more teen-themed lessons, because the message that we're sending is slightly different between the two. So each of them, I know this is kind of putting Bailey on the spot, so I'm going to leave her till the end because she didn't know we were doing this. But each of them is going to share like one little thing they learned in Unity and something they want to share with the congregation, and hopefully it's quick. Okay, AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, and most of you know that. One of the main things I've learned in Unity is that everyone has God in them and all good in them, no matter what. So even if they seem like rude or like, I don't know, you don't like them, they're always a good person on the inside. Doesn't matter who they are on the outside, they're always good on the inside.
Eva, are you ready? This is big for her. She's got it though. Go ahead, hon.
So I'm Eva. One thing I learned.
Okay. That's
Eva's,
okay.
Eva's a visual artist.
Yes.
So you get to see all her pictures, and she
I
speaks
don't
through
want you
her
to be
pictures.
upset.
Yeah.
Stand now.
Oh, sweetheart. Okay.
Yeah, come
That was a big deal for her just to come up and say, I'm Eva, and to try. So, should have had her get a little script. Honor, can you share a little bit with us, and then maybe just something about camp quickly?
One thing I've learned from Unity is that a bunch of different people, like everyone that comes here, like everyone has a different perspective on how they think of things, like spiritually and physically and stuff like that. And one thing I really enjoyed learning at camp is that like many different people from like different states and stuff like that came around from different Unity locations and came around and just intertwined with us, so that was really cool to see. So yeah.
Thank you, Honor.
Bailey, do you want to share it all? Okay, that's fine. I knew I was putting you on the spot, so we'll be flexible with that. So today we are going to witness their spiritual growth and promise to support them and pray for them as they continue to learn and grow in unity. The children will each receive a gift. Bailey, I have an extra in the room, okay? So as with the tradition with the fly-up ceremony, they are receiving a feather, but this time it's a metal feather bookmark. They're also getting a journal and a matching pen so that they can write down their thoughts and things that they've learned, or affirmations or whatever. Bailey, I have one for you, promise. So now we are going to give them our unity blessing. So please stand, and if you would like to extend your hands out, there is a blessing specific for our youth up on the screen. Okay. Remember, you carry God's light wherever you go. Shine bright, be brave, be compassionate, and know that your Unity family is always here to support and encourage you. Congratulations on your new grade level. We celebrate you today and look forward to all the wonderful things you will discover and become. Amen. Now for our walk-through arch, if you could please line up the center aisle and make an arch with your hands. Make sure there's room for the children to walk through you. And if our youth volunteers would like to lead them out. Whoa. Okay. Go on.
Here comes the song, everybody.
Yeah, sing along with us. I know.
Who you really are. I see it in your eyes. Oh, you are a shining star. I know who you really are. I know who you're here to be. I see it in your eyes. A light for the world to see. I know who you're here to be.
You're here to be the one. You're here to make it fun. You've really got my head spinning. You brighten every room. You always leave too soon, and this is just the beginning. Oh, I know who you really are. I see it in your eyes. Oh, you are a shining star. I know who you really are.
All right, thank you so much. You can be seated. I'm going to call the ushers up now. And we're going to bless the gifts with this affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, that this is so.